The world seems to be in chaos, and many are struggling to grasp the happenings in the realms of Marvel and DC. In times of need, even Batman turns to two individuals. Those two are the Ricans.
What's up, my Ricans? We are back again for another episode. As always, I am somewhat energetic Mo.
The spawn of Mo.
I'm just rolling around, Lou.
Just roaming around?
Rolling.
Rolling. Down a hill.
Riding dirty.
And no brakes.
Riding dirty.
Oh, somewhere there's a fast and furious phrase for you. Somewhere there is. So, yo, dude, this week I'm in love, bro. I had just saw the trailer the teaser trailer for Godzilla X Kong Supernova. They're naming this now. And I am on buzz. I'm buzz with this because I didn't think it was set for 27. I didn't think they were going to start this early with production.
I didn't think it was real. I didn't think the trailer was real.
I thought so too. I was at first oh, another AI, but it's it looks cool. But then just something about it, just no. And then I remember, thanks to the guys in YouTube, Dangerville.
Right.
You know, they're the ones that always follow and report on everything kaiju from Godzilla onward, and they reported, that's the new trailer, and they pointed out things. If you look at the trailer and you look at the scene where the computer screen comes up, it gives you Easter eggs that tell you that this is not an AI fake. This is actual. And I'm like, okay. And then with Supernova, I started thinking, it's like, are they talking about? Because I know Dangerville talked about the next one, most likely characters or most likely enemies that from the history of Godzilla. One of them was going to be either Biolantica, but then the one that really stuck to me that I think that's going to be the one, Space Godzilla. Now this was the Godzilla that after the battle with Biollante, the materials went up into space. That material, one piece came off and pretty much just roamed the universe, but it's a cell, which then came in contact with, I think, a star or a black hole, and the energy from that grew and then turned it into a Space Godzilla. That's why he had a crystalline dorsal fins and two crystalline shoulders, because that's what the energy that he possesses is stored in the crystalline. When they beat him in '96, Mongero was the battle robot that was used. He launched a drill missile, and when it hit the crystal and popped it, that hurt it, and that diminished his powers. And after that, Zilla took over. It was lights out, bro. So when I see that it's going to be him coming, if it's him, ooh. I'm just waiting for the design look.
They just said Scar King is going to be in that movie.
He's going to be.
So the ink that was on the whatever that monster was with the crystal.
Yeah.
He's one of the villains. And it's coming out March 2027.
If he's back, they're probably going to have a backstory with how he got his hands on that crystal. That crystal is that's the crystal that was being used to control Shimu.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow Shimu and probably Space Godzilla are connected in some way. And I can understand that, because when he came on the scene, I was like, wait, he's like the opposite Godzilla variant, because he deals in cold, where Godzilla deals in atomic heat. Mm-hmm. And he's evolved, and now there even talks about another evolution to Godzilla on top of that. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see.
I don't know why, but it popped in my head, just Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon. Yeah.
It just popped in my head with Shimu.
Which one? Let's see. Which one of the I can't remember. One of the Pokemon did evolve from a base form, and then he went to like a Super Saiyan type.
Yeah, he looked like Shimu.
Shimu, exactly. Not Charizard. Is it Charizard?
Wait, hold on. Which one? Which
I don't know the names of Pokemon, but I know.
Not
I
most
know,
of
but
them.
you say what character?
The Shimu one from the Kong.
Yeah, Kong versus Godzilla with Shimu.
The-
If you look up Shimu, you'll see a white Godzilla variant with crystalline dorsal fins, crystalline crown.
Okay, I see. All right. Oh man, I not Evie.
Did you also? I saw there's an issue out. Number one, I believe, came out. Kong, no, not Kong. Godzilla versus Hulk.
Godzilla versus Hulk.
Yep. And they got like 5 different covers.
Yeah, but if I'm not mistaken, there's an AI one I think you showed me of Kong versus Hulk.
Right, but this is the official comic book. It's out.
Oh,
already.
the official
Number one.
comic book?
Yeah, I looked it up on Amazon. Yeah. I want the paperback. I don't want issue by issue.
Oh no. I want to. Yeah, I'm like you. I want instant gratification.
Yes.
I'll be willing to wait. It's like the same way with binge watching. I want to wait so I have it all and I can see it through.
Yes.
You know, there's certain ones I'll actually be patient to wait for, but other times,
A new comic.
Oh, here it is. Godzilla versus X-Men begins. I was waiting for this one, people.
Yes.
Godzilla versus X-Men. Are you
That's
kidding me?
ridiculous.
Tease a giant combat upgrade. I'm just trying to. I figure, you know, here's the
only one I could see really kind of putting up a good battle would be Cyclops.
Yeah. Cyclops. Yeah.
And Wolverine, obviously.
His beam is a little thinner, though.
Wolverine
A
with
little
his
thinner.
glass.
So he's gonna need at least
A mirror or something.
No, there is a mutant that if he touches you, he amplifies your abilities tenfold.
I forgot his name.
I forgot his name too.
Oh, okay.
Or if not that one, Havoc, his brother. Because when Havoc hits him with his energy, it doesn't kill him, it stings him, but it increases his power tenfold as well. So it's like a channel
He
through
would
him.
have to
Cyclops-
really tap into his bat power without his glasses.
Cyclops
Yeah.
without his glasses could destroy a mountain.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I'm saying. Without his
So-
glasses.
Yeah.
And without his control.
Without his control.
Yeah, that's the
Well,
only problem.
he doesn't have that
He doesn't
much
have
control.
of it.
You know, if he closes his eyes, but you know, it's not that much control in that respect. But
Wolverine would be the
Which
next
I kind of find that kind of funny. You can close your eyes and control it. I mean, so and the shades do the same thing. So
why close your eyes?
I don't understand that.
Because if he opens it without the glasses.
Yeah,
It
but
just-
he can't control it, and then he closes his eyes, and you still see him trying to fight it. Once you put the shades on, it's okay.
And the shades are like regular shades. They're
And
not
your
like,
eyes are open
They're not
in
like
the shades.
goggles.
No.
You know, so
The
why
shades
they
are not
coming out
regular.
the side?
Exactly.
No.
That's what I'm like. I don't understand that.
Just to correct that, the shades are not regular. The only thing that controls that energy with his eyes open are ruby quartz. The glasses are coated with the ruby quartz, and the ruby quartz, even though the power is shooting out, but he can see like the rest of us with the glasses on. But
they don't shoot out to the side.
Well, I don't know about the side.
They're not just
unless
constantly
he
glowing.
do a side eye, and that's that part that's open. And
He can't.
you messed up.
He won't be
Yeah,
able
he give a new meaning to side eye.
And God forbid he goes this. He's over.
That's it, bro. So,
It's over.
Or he does.
He rolls his eyes.
He does the mole thing.
Yeah. Oh, he does the mole. Yeah, mole.
The mole thing, and then we blink, and then oh my God, that apartment is so obliterated. CNN Live, 4 apartments later, this big hole that just happened out of nowhere. And that's Cyclops. Wolverine, I don't know. I mean, he's got adamantium claws, but
And his regeneration. Godzilla
His
will just keep hitting him
regeneration.
and he just keeps coming back. I think Godzilla after a while would just get tired.
But he's this
Well, no,
small.
well,
Then he's gonna keep coming back. Him and Deadpool.
No, but Wolverine with Godzilla's beam, he'll just slice him in half. He can't come back. He can be alive. Talking about where's my legs? Where's my legs? But
Well, he can pull himself together and
He
heal
could
from
probably
that.
regrow.
That's
He
probably
happening.
could.
Yeah,
It's
'cause-
Be a longer
like
time.
Deadpool.
There's a
but
storyline
it's gonna
where-
look funny with him and small legs, of baby legs and baby
And
bottom.
Deadpool be like,
And
these
he's
are not
trying to
my
run.
legs.
He's trying to run up and try to claw him with little baby legs.
In Old Man Logan, the Hulk village ate.
What happened?
In
Oh yes,
Oh,
Yes.
They ate the Hulk. They ate
And
Wolverine.
he
He healed inside and busted out.
and
Yeah.
busted out of him. Yeah.
That
So
was crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you. I don't know if it'll be the same. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
gonna be the same when you've been eaten by an atomic creature. You know, when his like you're being sitting inside the actual.
You're gonna
Reactor.
have to have what's that guy's name? The one that crawls, like goes poof poof. Goes,
Oh, Nightcrawler. Yeah.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to use him, get on top of Godzilla's head with the Wolverine.
Nightcrawler
and
would
then
be a good
Wolverine
asset
would
in that
keep
fight.
attacking.
In that fight, yeah.
Yeah, he would.
Nightcrawler, Storm, Wolverine, Cyclops. I know Nightcrawler can take 2 at a time. Difficult, but 2 at a time. Bam, bam. Now you got Cyclops and Wolverine on top of the head. You need
Yeah.
a distraction?
It could.
No problem. Storm brings in the lightning and boom, maybe hit his tail. Say hello.
I'm sorry. There's only one person that can take him down in one shot.
Who?
Professor X.
I was just thinking that.
Mind control.
I would like to think that.
Well, communicate because in
They
the
could communicate, maybe.
Yes.
that
That would be interesting to see him communicate with Godzilla.
it can happen because in the issue when they first introduced Colossus and Wolverine, that's called Second Genesis. The island is what captured the first team of X-Men, and in that scene, when he appeared, he telepathically was battling a living island. So yeah, I think a kaiju monster is just right there in his reach to be taking him on, mind to mind. Maybe even better because if he can reach and communicate with him, then he might have a better understanding. Because they've been shown in the past that he kind of sort of understands and somewhat has a heart, but that's in the lore that they've done with
Now,
children and the fairies, the
yes.
twins. So with Professor X, might be easier.
Now, my thing is when they say Godzilla versus X-Men, are they just saying the X-Men or the whole X universe?
No, I showed the picture.
No,
All the X-Men are
X-Men.
fighting him. All of them.
Because if you're going to put the X
Marvel's
universe,
X-Men.
Marvel's X-Men, bro.
Magneto.
Ooh.
But that's saying he gets close enough. Remember, his powers is manipulating the metal.
Right,
so
but
he would use that on.
he could fling it, yeah.
Yeah,
can
but
fling it.
Godzilla could
The only thing from the photo is
What she
just
said.
knock that shit out.
Yeah.
There you go, bro.
Just
they
hit
have
it
in the
out.
photo. Why Beast is there? What
Well-
do you do?
Phoenix,
Outthink
is
it?
Phoenix a part of it?
Godzilla just throw a little pinky up, boop, and
Yeah.
smack him off.
Basically,
Beast-
he's there for
Beast is feral. Beast is very strong.
Yeah, he's strong
Yeah,
and
he's
feral.
very
But
underestimated.
Beast can bore him to death with one of his philosophies.
No.
Or he could
That's,
quote
that's
Tennyson.
assuming he understands him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He could quote
Beast-
Tennyson to him and he'll be still like looking at him like,
Yeah.
and then
It's
just
like
burn
she
him up.
said. It's like she said. Beast is underrated.
Yeah,
He
he's
is underrated.
completely underrated.
Underrated.
He is so good.
He is.
But what powers other than his brains does he really?
He's got.
He's super
He's
powerful.
the second
He's
strongest next to
character.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Strength,
Yeah.
speed, agility. I mean, he could dodge anything pretty much. I mean, if he's not hurt or tripped up in any way, but he can dodge anything Godzilla throws his way with that beam. He can dodge it. But if he gets close enough, then it's up to him and his brain and any science he could to find a way to stop him. Like if he
No.
can time what he does
Yeah.
and clue the X-Men, it's like, okay, this is how we'll beat him. Count 5. That's when it's going to happen. You have to do something before it happens.
Please make it the Jim Lee version.
Ah,
Please make these characters the Jim Lee version.
yes, especially Colossus.
Colossus, especially Beast. Beast
Uh-huh.
at the end in the new comics, he looked like a monkey. Come on.
Yeah, when he went all feral and he had
Yeah,
that face. I'm
no.
like, I don't know if he was a lion, a cat.
Yeah,
I was like, what
I
the
guess they were
hell?
leaning really into the beast.
yeah.
Literally a beast.
Nah. Keep the Jim Lee version.
No, that's just crazy.
Jim Lee was.
Mm-hmm. Too much. Too much. I mean, there is, keeping with the storyline, and there is taking it further than it should go. I mean, I understand you want to talk about mutations, but
Yeah.
some of our characters, we'd like you to leave them alone.
Yeah.
Some of them don't need a new design. Like there's
Yeah.
No,
this
well,
constant like we need
honestly,
to design or rechange it.
once Jim Lee took over, I don't think they should have changed it
No,
ever.
no, they shouldn't have.
Ever.
but
I mean,
unfortunately,
Jim Lee exaggerated a little bit, but it made sense.
yeah, it made sense.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't do an over exaggeration, but when he drew them according to what they were.
Like I heard in the new movies, the Doomsday, whatever, when they make their appearance, it's going to be the Jim Lee suits. Cyclops is going to have the Jim Lee, that X coming down.
That'd be dope.
Oh my God, I think I'm going to go. Oh, yeah.
You need a moment
I
alone?
need a moment alone.
Because I saw that tremble over here for a moment. I
Oh,
thought you were going to
yeah.
hit reverse and go through the wall.
Yeah, it might, you know what I'm saying? No.
I'll have to bring a change on the
You know what I'm saying?
Well, with that, we're going to take a break while he cleans himself up.
Yes,
and
yes.
We try to recover with alcohol.
I'm going to show you off camera.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Back with more Puerto Ricans. Lord help.
Come, let's play. LDM Radio. Come, let's play. Fun is what we crave.
Let's go. You're listening to New York City's LDM Radio. Another long stretch of continuous music. Back into time. Flashback. New York City's LDM Radio.
The best radio station in the world is right here, right now.
All right, so our next topic
welcome back.
Oh, welcome back. Welcome back.
Newbies.
Welcome back. So the next topic is going to go back to what we were talking about before about comic adaptions and anime adaptions. Literally, like 2 days after we were talking about this, I had mentioned Revival. The trailer popped up for me, and I went crazy.
Okay.
So worst wake up I ever had in my life. I'm like in third dream. I was like, it came out. Look at this, and I'm like, look at what? It's in my face.
I was very excited.
So you did the Mo face early.
Real early. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
We got 5 football that.
You haven't read Revival, right?
No.
All right.
No.
So essentially, the storyline, it starts off with this town where a whole bunch of dead people are revived, and it's called the Revival Day, and a lot of people don't know why or like what the real meaning behind it is. Some of them are feral, and there's also creatures that are roaming around. I don't want to spoil it and say what they are, but I had picked it up randomly, and I believe it's written by what's his name? I have it here. It is written and created by quickly Tim Seeley. Tim Seeley worked on Grayson.
Yes,
worked on a lot of other stuff, and it was probably one of the top 10 comics I had read in the past couple of years. I love zombies, so that was also another draw for me. It's a very well done zombie comic.
I like zombies, but I don't understand the purpose of zombies.
Flesh eaters.
It's like a form of body horror, like imagining you're depending on who's writing it, you're not in control.
Like I started liking it when Walking Dead.
Okay.
That was interesting because they didn't go after brains; they just ate.
You just ate.
Waiting for
They
but
killed.
they like the brains.
They actually killed. Yeah.
I have a concept behind that, right? Or like a idea behind that. Why they're always going after brains? Like they're mindless creatures, so they're probably going after something to get their own consciousness back. That's why they were going after.
Well,
that would make an interesting story.
From Return of the Living Dead, the reason why they went after brains because there's the pituitary gland calms their hunger down, but there's not enough pituitary gland to calm them down. So it's like a quick fix. Maybe it's
like a drug fix.
Yeah, like a drug fix. They eat and brains back again. Like 10 seconds into it, they're back to eating. But it was still funniest. But yeah,
that's like Z Nation.
In
the 5th season, they gave them little biscuits that had the brain and they could talk.
Never got into Z Nation.
Yeah.
So
because one of my favorite zombie movies is World War Z.
That was scary. They were running like
that's
climbing
terrifying.
On top of each other.
Yes.
Even when the helicopter is up and they're just forming a ladder, I'm like, dude,
they're intelligent.
Up. I'm like, wow.
And in the last season of The Walking Dead, they started doing it. They started learning how to climb.
Dead City with my favorite brother, and I know when I say this name, y'all lose your mind. Negan's back.
So in Last of Us in the game, I don't know if they've done it in the show yet, but there are ones that speak and scream out in pain and
in this season they already started.
They have the one that the smart one. But
yeah.
There are ones there's a part in the one game where you're going through this corridor and you see a woman who's eating this person and she's sobbing and she's saying no I don't like she's literally conscious that she's doing this, and it was so gut wrenching when you were playing the game, and I remember that I literally had to pause and start crying because just the concept of zombies not being able to control yourself if you're conscious. Remember, that's what Sam was worried about. He didn't want to become mindless. He didn't want to just become a monster. Mm-hmm. And the idea of hurting people that you love around you and stuff like that. I think that's where zombies become a really compelling monster genre and stuff like that, and also the body horror part of it. Like, you're not you anymore, depending on who's writing it or what's going on, but your body's falling apart. You're no longer like, you're alive, but you're not alive.
First time was when you go to the toilet and you hear that bloop and you're standing up. It's like, I didn't do it when I'm standing up. I do it when I sit down. Oh, damn. It's gone. Go ahead, drink that for a second.
I lost what I was going to say. Thanks, Mo.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Mo. Okay.
But that's the beautiful thing about this genre, from horror, and like I always said from the very beginning,
now I know.
Story. Oh, you got it?
Yes, I got it back. I'm sorry. First season of The Last of Us.
Yes.
One of my favorite episodes, and it's to me, it is on a scale of 1 to 10, it is a 9. The one with the couple.
Oh,
okay.
They did that so well. It's different
that
from
was
the game, but it was good.
that was well written. I mean, it
made me cry. It made me cry.
Did that episode win an award? No.
I don't know if it did.
It should have.
It should have. I agree 100% from the very moment they met each other to the next moment where, you
were my purpose.
Exactly. And I'm like, what?
So now my question.
I'm not into so much. I'm not saying I'm a romantic guy. I'm a romantic in my own way.
It was one of the greatest love stories.
It was a great love story. I
It was
didn't care
pure.
It was two men. It was pure. It was honest.
Yes.
And then when they left the window open and left a note to whoever comes in to say this is why we did this, and I'm like, wow. I mean, that's like true ultimate commitment to your partner. What you did because that's a dystopian, that's a dystopian future.
Yeah.
When the world is gone and it's just you two, that's it.
My next the question that I have to follow that is, will they have a similar episode that'll make people go?
I'm pretty sure they're gonna have it, but I'll ask her.
Because I don't think
the game.
I don't think
there might be an episode where they could potentially do that, but with the way that they're writing it now and the way that they've changed certain things, I just find watch part of the last episode. There's a little bit difference going on, a lot of difference depending on who you're talking to. But there is a potential for an episode like that, but not in the same line of that love story.
No, I don't mean a love story, just a story that'll just.
I could potentially see it happening, but it depends on how they write it and play it out.
Because when Joe died, I cried like a baby.
And it's worse, like I told you, in the video game, because he's with his brother at the time.
She knew because she played the game. So I'm watching this.
My
scene.
brother
I didn't
too.
Play the game, and I'm watching this scene, and I'm seeing this happen, and I'm like, "Yo, what?" And then when they came, and I'm like looking at her, and she's looking at me, but she's gauging my reaction to it because she already knew this was happening. And I'm like, "Yo, no!" I was like, "What?"
And in the video, in the video game, you don't know Abby's reason behind it. So when it happens, and so you're playing as Joel and Tommy get lured out by her, and then she does what she does, and then Ellie comes and sees it and sees the last hit on Joel. You don't know why Abby did it. She never told the motivation. So you play the game and find out her motivations later on and why she did what she did.
Oh, so she's gonna catch it.
It was
gut-wrenching
when you were playing the game. You're like, yo, oh God, I'm gonna kill her. I'm getting this girl.
When I saw her do it, I was like, yo, it took everything I had. That was one of the only reason why the tears came up. But everything I had to grab my 13-inch blade and jump through the screen and just jab her, bro.
She's gonna get it, and I have a feeling they're gonna drag it on for the next season.
I think so.
I don't think they could potentially do that, and if they did, I could only see it happening because of a specific storyline. They may want to drag it a little bit more, but even then, I don't see how they could really drag it out. They did the first game in one season.
Yeah.
So I could see them doing the second game in one season as well.
Because the Walking Dead came out this weekend. They just passed.
Dead City. Negan's back.
I didn't even watch it.
Yeah.
I was in Last of Us full-hearted, bro. And I told myself, I'm not going to watch Last of Us, the hell with it.
Nope.
But when I saw that, and then Joe died, and I had to call my brother that as soon as the show was over, yo, they killed Joe.
Okay. Now imagine us playing the game for the first time, and remember the opening with his daughter.
Yeah.
That's when I knew that game was going to be different. When his daughter dies in his arms, and they did exactly the same way from the game. So like that moment I'll never forget playing, because I was just like, oh, this is different. This is very different.
Yeah, I wept. I was like, Tony, yo, they just killed Joel. He goes, yeah, that's gonna happen. Yeah. He was like, yeah, that happens in the game.
I was ready to jump in the screen,
you didn't
bro.
Tell me.
No. You have to. It's a canon event. You have to experience it on your own.
Like my brother, he gets into stuff when I talk to him about it. So he was telling me last night, and I was taking him home from the wedding, and he said, I watched it. He was like, I was watching this. I watched the whole. I loved it. Then I watched this season, and then when they killed Joe, I was like, I had no words. I cried.
Yeah.
I was so and he said, and I know he doesn't get invested. Like he's the one that when I see it, I look at, like she looks at me, I relive it through him, because he's so literal when he watches it. It's like when he watched, what was it, the Hangover, the first one.
Oh,
so I watched him because I knew the baby was gonna get hit by the door, and then the baby get hit by the door, and he's like, oh, like how could his eyes nearly fell out, and he's like, oh, the baby.
The Hangover.
I lost it, bro.
The Hangover was the stuff, man.
So when he told me about when he watched that scene when Joel died, he's like, I never get invested into. I mean, I watch it, I get into it, but not fully. I mean, he went all in on this one. And then when he saw it, he was like, yo, I needed a moment. I cried. And my wife held me.
I think that's also what makes Last of Us so good as a standalone in the zombie genre, because it's not just like, zombie shows or media always kind of focuses more on like the action of like fighting the zombies. And yes, you've got like the drama, but like Last of Us really focuses on the character-driven drama of these people, and it just happens that is the backdrop.
Yes.
I mean, you had that like in the beginning of The Walking Dead, where it was character building at that point, because it was the beginning of the pandemic. Then you had like, how can I say, moments. Like Negan was a moment. And then you had another moment where they went into the prison, where they thought, oh, they're going to be safe now. And that didn't work out.
One of my best.
Each one of these, each one of those were just moments. And then, it's like in The Last of Us, you're seeing the day-to-day of people together, people now learning that they have to rely on each other now. And you forget all the BS that you see today happening in the world, and you put that aside, because now it's, you're my survival, I'm your survival. You need to have my back as much as I gotta have your back. We're in this together. It's the quote phrase. Yeah, we are in this together. It's together. But it's the truth, and that's the kind of like good, story-driven, emotionally draining, and that's saying it in a good way. You feel it. It's like it captures you. It makes you think. It makes you feel, and that's great storytelling right there. And I didn't play the game. I'm ashamed to say that, but seeing this, I'm like, wow, I should have played this one. Yeah, I was too hooked up on Half-Life. That's what it was.
Like me, I never got into the comic book of The Walking Dead.
I read the comic book before I watched the show,
and I regret it because. I regret it.
And there's more
Walking Dead
story
never
in
made
there.
me cry as much as The Last of Us has made me cry. It made me feel emotional for these characters.
Nah, when the old man died.
No, there were times where I did sob. Like I genuinely was like, damn, these characters. Like I feel so bad.
But then it became a pattern, because in the show afterwards that he used to give, he made a point. Usually, you could tell who's gonna die by who does what.
Yeah.
It was like you would have an anime montage. You'd be like, "Oh no, this character's
he spoiled
gonna
it.
die.
Like Star Trek. Like, oh, he's wearing the red shirt.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Yeah.
You're just waiting for the doctor to go, Jim, he's dead.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Or what was it? Or like another comic adaptation with The Boys. I mean, when it first came on, I was like, yo, I gotta get me the graphic novel. I read the first graphic novel. I was like, and I look at the two, and I don't know which one is more gross, the book or the show. It's like this, bro.
Really?
Oh, it is like that. Butcher in the book is more Butcher. I mean, he lives up to that name in here. So where in the show, you see he's got a heart. Somewhere underneath that bastard, he's got a heart. He's got it beats in his chest, right here. No, he's a bastard in the book. total bastard in the book, bro. And I'm like, whoa. Oh, man. And the explosions.
I'm going to have to get into that.
Huh?
It's good.
Oh, the first one will change you.
I have to get into that. And I want to get into the show, too.
And
I'm into it.
You should also read The Old Guard.
Yes.
Which was
The
something
Old
we're gonna
Guard.
talk
Is
about
that based
as
on a
well.
movie?
The Old Guard.
Just on a
That's the
comic.
one with Charlene Thurzon. Which, you know what? When we come back, we're going to go into The Old Guard. So stay tuned for more Nerdoricans.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I am Charles Laloma, and I am the owner of the LDM Network, and I hope that you're enjoying this episode. But if you want to see past episodes of this show or any other of our shows, go to the ldmnetwork.net. We have large contents of different type of shows, and we even have podcasts. So again, check them out at ldmnetwork.net. So without further ado, let's get back to this episode.
I'll pull up the comment.
Welcome back, Nerdoricans. Continuing from our last segment, we were talking about The Old Guard. Now, if I remember correctly, I watched the first one with Charlene Thurzon. Oh, so good.
It
bro.
was.
So good. It's like one of the things that we talked about before. It's like it's hard to find original ideas when it comes to filming, and this one was so good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Netflix again. Netflix does it again with original stories, original ideas, original films that, you know, you don't have to have, you should have an account with them, not promoting it, but saying, yeah, you should, because they're one of the very few, they're the ones that started it, and they have a larger collection when it comes to original material than any of the other platforms.
Yes.
And I know for a fact that there's a section of horror that for even a fanatic, there's stuff in there that sometimes even a fanatic will go, I'm not watching that. That's how good it is. But to The Old Guard, the action, top notch.
And Netflix and Amazon are always competing against.
Oh yeah.
In terms of originality, because Disney, Disney, they take the ideas and they make series out of it. They're not doing anything original.
No, they're not.
The only thing original that I can say is The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But again, everything is Star Wars, so it's not original for me.
Yeah, and Marvel makes their own anyway.
Yes.
So it's like they already had it. It's not something they had to come up with.
No, it's not
So-
like, yeah.
Also,
Netflix.
as an anime fan, Netflix is really changing the game with their anime adaptations. I still stand by their Cowboy Bebop adaptation, and I don't understand how people hated on it so much. But the fact that they brought One Piece out and made One Piece, which is, I'm not really into One Piece, but I have respect it as it's.
Didn't they make that into a live movie?
Yes, they have. It's a series, and they're about to drop the second series, and it's phenomenal. Even I was like thoroughly shocked at how well it was done. So they have really changed the game as far as like anime adaptations go. Even though their Death Note.
We'll leave that one alone. We didn't say this, okay? We do not endorse it.
But to bring it back to
Old
Old
Guard.
Guard.
Old Guard 2 is coming out, and you saw the trailer. I saw the trailer.
I didn't see the
What
trailer.
did you think?
So
You haven't yet?
yeah, so it looks like it goes into.
I'm waiting for Sam to send it to me.
You waiting for Sam to
Oh, I
send
didn't know you were
Really?
gonna. I'll send it to you then.
No,
Okay?
yeah, because Sam
So
sent me a
they-
bunch of stuff last time.
Yeah, well, I stopped because I felt like I was sending too much stuff. But yeah, no, I'll send it. So yeah,
He sent you the Phantom Zone. Keep it up.
I don't know.
Take away your nerd card and put you in the Phantom Zone.
Mine's just over there. I gotta get
No.
Yeah, so it looks like it's picking up after the ending of the first one, where this girl has lost her ability in immortality. She's human now, and they're confronted by the first immortal, the original, and
But tell her who it is.
Tell him who it is.
There's no confusion here.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Uma Thurman.
Oh.
Kill Bill herself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And then the I forgot the name of the immortal member, the one that was thrown into the ocean,
Mhm.
and she's back now as well. Because remember, at the end of the movie, she came back, and so now she's in part of the mix as well. So the second movie is going to be going into that and their storyline.
It's gonna be.
It looks like it's going to be really good.
One of those. It's like it goes beyond WWE's tables, ladders, and chairs, bro. This is the slobber knocker of ultimate proportions.
Yeah.
Really?
When I saw this, I was like,
Because
wow.
the first one, I was like, what? Wow.
And it took a lot of people by storm.
You're going to do what? Wow.
No, it took a lot of people by storm because I remember when it first came out and I watched it, I didn't know it was based off a comic book. And I'm like, damn, this is really good.
Yeah.
And then I went and I Googled it and I was like, wait, this is a comic?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I have
My
to
brother,
read
he
this.
put me onto
It's
it.
an Image comic.
My brother puts me onto a lot of stuff. My
Yeah.
brother's like, yo, you got to watch this.
I saw it, but I didn't know it was a comic. And then when I found it was a comic, I was like, what? Digitally download, read a few pages, like, But I already fell in love with it when I first watched the film in itself. When you had Charlene, I mean, how could you not go wrong with watching Charlene in this? And then when I watched it, the story developed, like, I like it. It's got that Highlander taste to it, you know? When it comes to Immortals, it's like the only thing can come close to that is like Highlander, but without the swordplay and everything else. But I'm like, man, I'm liking this, bro. I'm liking this. I love what the first one did. And then when I saw the trailer, I'm like, you know what? Yep, there you go. Bello's standing up again.
Like, I haven't watched it, but one of the shows that's out now that my brother keeps telling me, watch it. It's on Netflix. Havoc.
I have it saved, and I know I want to see that because
I'm hearing great things about it.
Yeah. I should give y'all a spoiler alert.
That's the one with Tom Hardy, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's a good actor.
Oh, he's underrated to me.
He's another one that's under. He has really good picks.
And he's a great writer.
Really good at
yes.
The only one thing I do say is going to give you a B movie vibe.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I love.
It's not the vibe.
Sometimes B movies are better.
Some
though.
B movies
No, it's the
are
color
really good.
alone and a lot of the AI things that they do.
Because I don't. Because
I raised her on nothing but B films when we had a video store and that's where we showed her the Guyver and Guyver 2, Dark Hero.
Yeah.
And then the anime started coming out one after the other. Fist of the North Star, Guyver animated, all those things. They were from the video store. That's why I was like, I'm surprised, but not so surprised. And I keep getting that B rating feeling when I think of what Netflix original series and Amazon original series. It feels like that. It's like going to the video store and picking out, what's this? Oh, B film. Okay, let's watch it. But believe it or not, don't take B films away. Some B films are like the stuff. Stuff, bro.
Like, I think that's what happened with Havoc.
Wasn't Evil Dead?
Evil Dead
with
was
Havoc.
the best of the B films.
Yeah.
I loved Evil Dead.
I got that vibe too, though. It was like a.
Yeah, but the first one wasn't a B movie. It came out in mainstream.
Yeah, but it gave you that vibe.
It was
that
so
vibe.
good. Yeah.
You see the cheesy effects, and sometimes the acting is not right there, but it was supposed to and it's Sam Raimi's first film before Spider-Man, and we're like, and you had kind of like that, ooh, and then it was gone. It's like, damn, that was actually not bad.
There's a term for it.
Second, when the second one came out, Dead by Dawn, I was like, oh.
See, and I think that's what happens with Havoc. The what I'm hearing about it with the B movie thing, I don't think he knew how big it would be. Whoever wrote it, I don't think they knew how popular it would be on Netflix.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing.
It made a lot of traction. But there are, not a spoiler alert, but if you do get dizzy in movies, the beginning of the Havoc, do not watch. Because the cars speed up so much, and the background is speeding in a different direction, it will get you a little dizzy.
I drive a wheelchair. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but the movie does have a good action from the beginning to the end. Nice. So it's not like you're going to be bored.
Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as it starts, there's an action.
All
you know what I mean? So
that's one to keep an eye on. I mean, I have it there. I
have
definitely.
Yeah, I have it on
I haven't
queue.
seen it yet, but I keep hearing so many good things. I know Tom Hardy, and I'm like, so just come through the list of the stuff I'm going to see, the stuff I'm getting her to see, so she can catch up and on stuff that she hasn't seen. And then when I go to this, I'm really like, because by that time it's like most of it will already be up, and then I'm be like,
I'm waiting for
watching all of it.
I'm waiting for Endor to finish. I heard it's got 3 more episodes.
I know. I'm waiting for that.
Then I could binge on it.
She can't because she's already been
emotionally obviously.
She's been emotionally distraught since Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One was the last movie I saw in theaters, like on my own. I had Movie Pass at the time, and I was like me and 3 other people, and I was just like a sobbing mess for the last 15, 20 minutes of that movie. And the other people were like behind me, like, why are you crying? And I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling it the way I'm feeling this. Mm-hmm. And then when I saw the Andor, I'm like, yeah, I can't watch this knowing he's gonna die. Like, he's like this. I love Diego Luna so much in that movie. and his character, and what he had to go through, and then his switch up, and like, oh, it was so good. And then I was like, oh, now you're gonna make me watch this and be like, oh my god, maybe there's hope.
But remember, in the beginning of that one, and I love the premise of the idea that it's not dealing with the Force, it's not dealing with this, it's not dealing with any of that. It's dealing with how, because that was always the big question. How did the Rebel Alliance was formed? You brought in a thief. You brought in, you had a person who on the surface was an artsy dealer. He had like friends of the Empire with you sitting down. So like you're basically breaking bread with the enemy.
Now, is this the last season?
Know. Huh?
Is this the last season?
No, this was last season.
No, this season.
First one.
The second Endor.
Endor.
They got one more.
They got one more because I heard this might be the last season.
I heard the same thing too, that this might be the last one because
and if there is,
because once the attack happens, then the alliance is formed, and then of course Rogue One.
I would end it with him meeting the female character from Rogue One.
I would.
That's how I would end it.
Has to.
Yeah.
Has to.
Or Urso himself.
When she was gone, I was
Galen
like,
Urso.
Galen, yeah, I would.
If they could bring back Mads Mikkelsen, I would love that.
If they bring back Gale Urso, yeah. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. But that's the way it should end it.
Yes.
So if you're gonna end the show, ending with that crossing right over into Rogue One.
Yeah.
It's not saying.
No.
No, that's like
They're
I said.
not gonna.
They're not gonna.
If they're smart enough, they would keep that under wraps.
Yeah. Keep that under wraps. Put it in.
I don't think it feels like it's gonna be a last season. I don't know.
Because I mean, it's got to end somehow. I
did read an article that said that once they do the scene,
we know how the movie ended.
When they show the scene, that they said once they do the scene where the Rebel Alliance starts attacking the Star Destroyers, boom, that's already the story in itself. It's already formed. The rest is what we see from Rogue One, Star Wars: A New Hope, Empire Strikes, all of that, because now that's the Rebel Alliance. Now that's what they're doing in order to, get back their lives, rid themselves of the Empire. But it was the beginning. Who put it together? How it was put together? And how did they figure out all these things that were going on? Because they're breaking bread with the enemy, like I said. And they did it in such a way that you're sitting there going, you don't know this. It's like, I'm like looking and saying, you don't know. Yeah. You have no idea. Oh, you're so stupid. You're stupid.
There's an author that I used to follow that I read a lot of his books, Timothy Zahn. And what he would do, he would take a lot of the stories from Star Wars, the in-between parts. Like, he wrote stories between Star Wars: A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back. And those stories were canon until Disney took over. And they were great stories.
Yes, they were.
There's one that I like. It's called Dark Saber. That you read it, I'm assuming. I love that one. That widened my eyes so much because it's a story of Luke, and my favorite part was when he travels to this. It's made of ice. In the solar system, it's made of ice. It's like a whole. He thought of that all by himself. Big boy.
I love science fiction writers.
Yes.
Yeah, because they put it together in such a way that when you read it, it's like when you read it, your mind is creating it. So their words, your imagination, boom, there it is. And that's the beauty of such storytelling, that you get lost in that world and you're like, wow. And you're seeing it from his eyes, but in word. And when you see it in front of your eyes, it's like, oh, wow.
He wrote Heir to the Empire, which took place between New Hope and Empire. It's great. He introduced a lot of new characters too.
That's the beautiful thing about it, because the way you continue a story is you got to introduce fresh blood, new characters, new directions in which to take a story with a different character.
Yes.
Like if you whitewash the same characters over and over again, look, come on. They're already too old, and how much more are you going to explore? What? How they handled old age and old Jedi?
Yeah.
There's a fan.
You will not give me the bedpan. No.
That's also where fan fiction also kind of like really
is
a big like source of the community. Like if something gets changed, and you're like, oh, this really sucks. Someone fixed it. Someone's done it, better in that format and stuff like that. And there's some really good fan writers out there that could literally work on the series and would bring so much to it as fans and stuff like that. But I kind of have a weird question. Is there like a science fiction novel that you've read that you guys would like to see adapted? Because I know I have a few. Mine, for one, one of my top ones is The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. I would love to see that adapted.
Well, mine is actually a Star Trek novel.
Mine came true.
Oh, which one?
The Isaac Asimov's. You know what? We're gonna save that.
Yeah, save that.
We'll be right back.
Find out what Lou has.
What I have? What did?
Get the BB one.
3, 2.
Told you I was fine. Jesus.
Okay.
I used the force.
Sure.
I used the force.
Well, mine says different.
Wow. Something might be wrong.
So you were saying?
Yeah, my Sam, are you with us? Are you with us, Sam? Okay.
Focus, tell me what's
No, what I was saying, we were discussing if any the question she raised, any fiction and books,
science fiction specifically,
that we wanted to see come to life. I got to see. I was always a huge Isaac Asimov fan. I got to see Foundation, the books he wrote, and iRobot.
iRobot, yes.
A lot of these stories came, and I loved them. I would love for them to do Can Robots Dream, which they touch based on iRobot a little bit.
A little bit,
yeah,
but not enough to really know. Because I think there was one. I mean, it didn't dream, but when they had shown like 2 different variations of robots that felt, that actually were self-aware. I know one of them, I forgot the name, was with Tom Hanks.
Oh, I love that movie.
Oh, that movie was heart-wrenching. It was so good.
Yes.
And then the other one was, oh my God, it was a how do you call it? A warrior robot. And it became self-aware through an accident, through a battery pack accident, which caused an electric shock. I know it sounds like Johnny Five, but it wasn't. Even though Johnny Five is also another one that dealt with self-awareness, this one became self-aware and decided no kill, because it was programmed just to be a warrior robot, and the army was comprised of that, and this one chose no kill.
Another one of my favorites, Isaac Asimov, and you might think this was funny, which it was. Robin Williams played the Bicentennial Man.
Yes,
which is based on Isaac Asimov's 5 Rules.
Rest your soul, maestro.
Yeah, I love Isaac Asimov's writing. Period.
Yeah, I mean that was so great, so good.
Yeah. What was yours?
Oh yeah.
What was your book?
Well, my book was a 3-part Trek storyline, introducing the origins of the Borg.
I need to know the name of that one because
trying to look it up. I know it's a 3-part series.
Text it to me later on after the show.
Yeah, I'm talking to text it to you. It's a 3-part series, and in that 3-part series, it goes back and forth from the future to the past. So what happens is in the future, in the 24th century, Federation's at war with the Borg, and there are only maybe 2 or 3 ships that are using the transphasic torpedoes, but very sparingly. But other ships have came up with some other ways to destroy the Borg with the sacrifice of the entire crew. So, but the war is not, it's not going well. We're talking about imminent end. They're heading straight towards Sector 001. Then rewind back to the Romulan Earth War that was going on at that time. And during that Romulan war, they weren't even a Federation, it was just Earth defenses at the time. One ship was lost, presumed destroyed, and then it just drifted until this other ship, and then this massive, it makes the Borg ship look like a cube in a cup ready to be served a drink. Okay, they were that huge. But the species were known as the Kalia. But they were the beginnings of the Borg, because when they rescued those that were on that ship, and they brought them in, they healed them. They injected them with nanobots that healed their body, and then offered them the opportunity to telepathically connect with one another, so that way there's no secrets. They talk, and they said you could stay here for as long as you like, for the rest of your life. And that was paradise. Anything they could want it, there it is. With just a thought, it could come to them. But they're soldiers, and what soldiers want to do, they want to go home to their families. So they know that, they're presumed dead, but look, I'm alive. I want to see my family. One with my husband, the other one's like my mom.
Like Odysseus trying to get back to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they found a way to escape. And when they did escape, they crash land on a different M-class planet, and they came across, inhabitants there. But they weren't the same after the crash land. And after that, they just looked at them, and they started talking like the Borg. Says, we are one. And then the two wheels come out of their fists, because they thought it, and then the nanobots go into their neck, and then drones. And they grow, and that's where you see the beginnings of how the Borg started from that. It started during that time. Fast forward, of course, they moved to Delta Quadrant and so on and so forth, but it took 3 parts to tell it, because there was a mission in the second book in which they found a ship from that Romulan War era. And it was the same ship that was lost with those 3 people. And in it, all the information they needed to know as far as how the Borg was. All I know is that it had what they call a spectacular confrontation with a fleet of Borg and this massive Kalia ship that spanned across the same distance as was it 24 Borg ships, and it was round and huge in that confrontation right there. They literally gave up on assimilating Earth, came here, and then came and faced their creators, if you look at it that way. And it was something else, bro.
This is a book.
Oh, a 3-part
trilogy.
There's actually a Doctor Who episode kind of like that. I don't know if anybody here watches Doctor Who. There's an episode in the newer Who with Matt Smith's character where there's this girl who is trapped in this like room-like place in this planet. Same thing, she just wants to go home. And then the doctor lands on the planet, and so this whole entire time they're communicating, and she's like, oh my God, he's gonna find me, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna do this. And then he finally gets to her and he finds out that she's been assimilated into a Dalek. She can no longer leave. Great. Like, I was just thinking about that right now as you were like talking. I'm like, oh man, like that. Those kind of storylines get to me, because it's like the idea, like, you still think you're human, but really you're no longer not.
No longer not.
But yeah, mine's is The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. And it deals with a astronaut / like scientist who they're kind of creating their own federation of planets, and he ends up on this planet called Winter, and because of time dilation he can't really communicate with Earth as much as he would like to, and so the book format is told in the perspective of like his diary and him like interacting with these people, creating different relationships with them, and then cataloging their race, because the race of aliens are androgynous. They don't really have male or female aspects. They go through heats kind of situation where when they go through their mating season, their bodies will pick whichever side they're going to be on, whether they're going to be the carrier or the one who helps produce, and then it's almost like perpetual winter there. And his character ends up befriending another one there who's part of like this rebellion, and it's such a good book. And Ursula K. Le Guin, she's the one who did Earthsea, if I remember correctly. So yeah, she's very good.
Yeah. I've heard of her. She's a good writer.
You're going to carry it. Just thought to get that out there. I'm not carrying it.
You actually don't get the choice.
I don't have the hips for it.
It doesn't get the choice.
The producer's going to carry it.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's going to carry it?
Yeah.
Talk about double dealing here, bro.
Right?
What? These are the days of the Rican lives.
Don't try to adjust your TV set.
So, it's that time again. We know what I'm coming up with.
Let's go.
And that's the Rican Bochinche. Nerd Bochinche coming up, bro.
Nerda Chinche.
Oh my God.
Nerda Chinche.
Nerda Chinche, right? I got a good one, bro. I just saw, as a matter of fact, like 24 hours today, and I think I sent it to you, and to you, Mr. Producer, that they're doing a second book, Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2. New enemies, new, and not even, well, they say new kaiju, but for us, it's familiar kaiju. Because when I saw the three-headed monsters, Ghidorah is not new. Ghidorah is canon. Hello. Some of the others, okay. It's like I didn't pay attention. When I saw it was Ghidorah coming in, I was like, oh.
No, wait. You saying this is part 2?
Part 2, yeah.
What was part 1?
Part 1 is the first one, Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. Right. And remember in that one,
normally that's how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah. There's a 1 and there's a 2. Yeah. So in the 1, just to recap you in case you got lost for a second.
No. What I'm saying is, is that the book that you and I read?
Yes. Same book.
It is? Okay.
Remember that scene where I told you it was like a Mexican standoff? You see Superman on one end, heat vision, blocking Godzilla's.
Because I don't remember Kong being in it too much.
No, he got decked by Supergirl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he got, well, literally, and I hate to say this, but he got bitch slapped. Yeah. Realistically, bitch slapped.
He's not as much of a threat as Godzilla.
No, and he likes the blondes, I told you. That's why he calmed down. It's like, damn, she cute, but she bitch slapped. So he calmed down from that. What can I say? But they made a second one. Again, new villains, not the Legion of Doom, different villains. A portal that's discovered, and in that portal puts it to the Monsterverse. So they can now come, they're using them, and they're bringing in, like I said, they brought in the big guns. They brought in Ghidorah. And when they saw Ghidorah, I was like, wait. And then it went through the trailer, and then I saw, it's like, you got to bring in Zilla. So here we go again. Zilla and Khan teaming up with the Justice League, and the Justice League having to save their own planet from these villains, which are unknown right now to me. Like I said, they just gave you a trailer. We're going to see what happens, but it's looking to be...
I got an image of like Batman being like, that's going to be my future pet. I'm making it that my pet.
He'll look good on my cave.
Exactly. He got a big enough cake for it.
He'll make another cave just for Godzilla.
I'm serious, bro. I was like, why would you not make him a Justice League member? Yeah. You have a little tattoo here and on his chest that says JL. Yeah. That's it, bro. That's all you got to do.
He gives him a necklace.
There you go.
Like the dragons do in House of Dragon.
But I'm loving.
Could you imagine Godzilla with a Green Lantern ring?
Huh?
Oh my God!
Oh, what?
But that operates on wait. That operates on the idea that Godzilla is sentient in that type of way.
You don't think he is?
I think he is. But he doesn't speak, they don't speak because it's not male or female. They don't. They can't.
Asexual.
They can't communicate, which is cool in the idea of bringing the X-Men of like Professor X. If you could communicate with Godzilla, what could you achieve in that aspect? Because if you could communicate, Godzilla would understand, like, hey, we're not a threat. Because Godzilla acts on that biological, like, wanting to prove itself and protect.
Perfect example is Captain Marvel's cosmic sense. That's Godzilla. He has a sense, like in the first book when he came to the Earth, he sensed Superman. Superman is alien, so he's not the natural order of the Earth in any way. That's why he went after him, because that's what he does. He just tries to keep the Earth like the other archaeologist said. Godzilla brings balance, and that's what he does.
Yeah, Godzilla is like literally the apex predator. So anytime it feels like there's a higher threat, it's going to pop out, and that's why there are times where it didn't pop out. Because it's like, no, they're not a threat to me. I could really care less. But if you're a threat to my territory, yes, I'm gonna show up. But you know what I was thinking right now? If anybody has ever done like a Star Trek versus Godzilla, because Spock would be a useful aspect in that, because Spock is a touch telepath. If he could get his hands on Godzilla, would he also be able to communicate? Right. The Vulcans would be
the pain.
I knew you were going to say that.
I can see them now. Oh, Godzilla's coming. Beam us out.
Beam us out.
No.
He's lighting up.
Kirk would be the first to be like, oh, no, we going. Like,
we going.
They'd be first. Beam us out.
Bones is an honorary Hispanic black person. I said that the other day because he would be the one like, no, we not. Like, what are you talking about? We leaving. And Kirk's like, no, we're going.
Kirk would be like, Scotty, I need y'all. Give me all you got. I'm giving it all you've got. I said, all you got is not good enough.
That would be cool to see if
we must
the,
explore.
If the Enterprise could potentially fight against Godzilla because of its.
Ooh, that was a good Kirk, man.
Yeah, we must explore. What is beyond Godzilla's range?
Yes. You can see in the shuttlecraft now. What is that? His anus.
Yeah.
We must explore.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to an end. This is Rolling Dirty Lou.
The spawn of Satan.
And Satan creator saying adios, live long and prosper. To the next one.
See you on the next one.
The world seems to be in chaos, and many are struggling to grasp the happenings in the realms of Marvel and DC. In times of need, even Batman turns to two individuals. Those two are the Ricans.